Hi, everybody. Matt here from Matt Likes Comics. Hope everybody's having a great week. We just had a whole bunch of chocolate this weekend because the bunny allegedly left. Bunny charges a lot of money, I'd like to point out. How's everybody doing tonight? We're here tonight with Lyle Hopson.
Hey, everybody.
Lyle is, I asked him back because he recently bought a huge collection. And he would like to show off pieces from that collection, and I want to see them, and I'm hoping that everybody else out there wants to see them. So before we get going too crazy here, let's say hello to everybody in the chat. We've got Kay Munin. Hi, Kay Munin, you're first tonight. We've got Robbie. Hi, Robbie. We got Rich at Big Nasty Comics. And we have Nate. Way to go, Nate. I've got one of my wrenches is here. Good to see you.
We're quite the combo. Yes, we are.
And before we get to further, here is the board of the members. And we have two members of the channel, AG and Son of Crom.
Wow.
So I'm bringing attention to them. As I said, I would always mention the members' names in every live stream. So, Lyle, give us a story about how you found this collection. I'm going to make you big for a minute here.
Okay. Well, where I live, my place is surrounded by trailer courts, and there are senior citizens, and every 400 or 500 feet there's a trailer court, and everybody's passing away, and you get it in the newspaper that somebody's got a collection for sale. Well, this particular time I was on the online marketplace. No, came in, no ferret, no. And this fella had 15 long boxes for sale, and he wouldn't really tell me what was in it. He said, I have 15 long boxes for sale for X amount of dollars. And, and then there was another collection at a different part of town that was a little bit smaller and for a lot less money that the fella couldn't sell, so I promised him I'd go and have a look at it.
Comic book fanboy.
Yeah, then another collector had maybe 50 or 60 books that he wanted to get rid of, and he couldn't sell them. So I told him I would go over and have a look. So the first collection had I think 4,500 comics, and when I got up there, he wanted $50 for a long box. So I went over. That's $50 Canadian. $35 US. So anyway, I went over and had a look, and I thought, I had heard rumors that people had purchased books from him before, and he had long boxes filled with doubles and triples of the same issue, and like maybe 8 or 10 all of the same all the way through. And I'm like, I'm not buying that. And he didn't. He had nice stuff that filled in a lot of holes in my collection as well that I hadn't seen for a long time. So I bought the whole works. I had to do a couple of trips because my wife's car couldn't hold 15 long boxes.
15 long boxes when you've already got 300. That must be.
I got more than that now, but anyway. So I bought them all, and I brought them in, and then I went and looked at the other collection, and because I also collect newspaper comic strips. This fella had inherited some of them from the 80s and 90s from a Canadian newspaper. And so he was selling them because his grandfather had passed away, and he was selling them for his grandmother. She knew nothing about it. So I asked him if he'd had any other books, like magazines or other comic books, other than the newspaper comic strips. And he said he did. So I asked him, I said, if he could show them to me or take some pictures and whatnot. So anyway, he took his time and went over to the garage and took a bunch of pictures, and he sends it to me. And I'm scrolling through the pages. I just about lost my teeth when I saw one of these books on. I said, is this a facsimile? So I kind of zoom in on my phone, and I'm looking at the book. And I'm thinking, this is like the real thing. So I said, well, how much do you want this for the whole lot? He said, well, I want $130. Well, I wasn't going to dicker with him and go, oh, how about 100? I said, yeah, fine. 130 bucks is great. So I bought them a whole lot. I went down to see him, and he had them in 2 large milk crates. Some were bagged and boarded, but they hadn't been bagged and boarded till maybe the late 80s. So then I brought that home. So in the last week, I've went through some of the stuff because it takes time. I mean, I have a life outside of comic books, so I have to do my time and go through it and see what I have. And I've had a lot of the people that are on the chat that have sent me a message to see. So did you get any Grails in your collection? Well, I got.
Well, that's why we brought you on this week. We want to see what you got.
Okay, so I will. I'll show you.
Hi, AG.
I'll show you what led up for me to get this book here. So one of the books that I got for that $130 deal was Werewolf by Night number 36.
That's an amazing looking book. It looks like it's in pretty decent shape too.
Yes, I would say it's probably good plus for
Hi, Jim.
For that. So there was that. I mean, it's not. I'm leading up to it, and then there was Werewolf by Night number 35.
Another good looking book.
Yeah, this one's a little bit better shape, maybe a VG plus. And then there was issue 34. I'm sure everybody can see where I'm going with this.
I'm a tingle with anticipation.
And then they had the Werewolf by Night 31, which was the teaser, like the very last page. It indicates that the next issue is Moon Knight. So I picked this one up in that wall, right? And then they had issue number 3. This one's in pretty good shape. So the last one I'm going to show you was at almost the very bottom of the box, and it was Werewolf by Night number 32.
I cannot believe you got one of those.
I couldn't believe it either.
That's amazing. That's such
zoomed in on it, thinking it might be a facsimile, and looked at it as close as I could. And I said to my wife, I need to buy this. So with the whole lot of that $130 lot and all the books that came with it, this one comes up to about like 38 cents.
It's amazing how little you've paid for everything.
Believe it. And I thought that once I would had purchased it, that he might have I mean, everybody's online. Somebody should be somewhat knowledgeable about what they're selling. And he never I said I didn't dicker with him. I just said, okay, you want 130? Here you go. And then hurry up, run to the car, get out of here before he changes his mind.
Did you get any other interesting stuff outside of that?
I did. So
the werewolf.
Yeah. So also in that collection, like it was all over the place. They had a few Archies and some foreign books. So in that lot, there was also X-Men number 22.
That's another good looking book.
Yeah.
What does the spine look like?
Spine looks well. You mean there are some spine ticks on it? I mean, like I said, I rebagged it, and it was. It looks like on the price that somebody either used a felt marker or they had a sticker on it at one time. So you can see
that. That's too bad, but at the same time, it's still an early X-Men. So
sure. I mean, for 35 cents, what can you
exactly
right? And then I got number 24.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. This stuff doesn't happen very often.
I really like those red covers.
And then I got number 30.
I had that book in my uncle's original collection. It was the only Marvel book in the entire collection.
Yeah. Well, this one here, when I looked it up to see if there had been any first appearances and whatnot on it, what I could find on the on my comic shop at the bottom in the writing, it said that the original print run. Oh yes, the original print run to this one was 412,086. The page circulation was 255,070.
Right.
for 1967. So this one was in it. And then X-Men number 33.
Nice.
This was from 1967.
I believe that X-Men 30 has a very creepy moment between Professor X and Jean Grey in it.
Oh, yeah. This one's in a little rough shape. It looks like it has a subscription crease, but I'm not complaining.
Oh, man. Those books, I wouldn't either.
And then the other one was X-Men number 47.
The Beast and Iceman. Yeah, I was reading,
Yeah.
actually, I saw a video, trying to think of who it was, where they were showing how the X-Men had some of these issues where they only had one or two of them, and they made them the special headline like that where it says just their names.
And the next one was X-Men number 53.
Nice.
Like the whole lot for $130. Like
That's just getting those Bronze Age werewolves and these Silver Age X-Men's are worth the money by itself.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even if they were, $100 or so per issue, well, I mean, I've made my money a long time ago.
Lyle, I was literally just telling Lyle this before we came on.
Well, that's right. But, a lot of us old farts are passing away, and a lot of I've come across collections where their kids had know absolutely nothing about it. So it's a good. And then this one is X-Men number 60. I think it's the first appearance of Soren.
Nice.
And it was cover pencils by Neil Adams.
I knew that.
And this one, I think it was the same one on that one. No.
Sorry for sounding like Alan there, but I actually knew.
Oh, no, that's okay. We're getting used to that. And then X-Men number 62. I don't know if they're grails or not, but I have these already, but when I don't care if I have 10 of each. I mean,
my understanding, I think it was issue 65 or 66. That was the last original story until 94.
Oh,
I
wow.
think that's when they went to reprints.
And then I got X-Men number 67. This one's from 1970.
Anybody, just a second, anyone out there in the chat, if you know the last original issue of X-Men before the reprint started, throw it in the chat just so that we know.
And I don't know if Nate is still here, but in that box, and I would say it's graded probably 9.2, was X-Men 130.
Yes. Wow.
I couldn't believe it. Deal. Yeah, it's when I saw that, there was a few, there's a couple of other ones I'll show in a few minutes that I thought of Matt right away. And when I saw that, I said to my wife, I said, Nate would like that. And she's like, who's that? I'm like, well, he's
38 cents Canadian, Nate. 38 cents.
Yeah, 38 cents a piece for all of these with the whole lot. There was some newspaper strips I had bought. And this lot altogether was 769 comics, and so for the whole thing was $130 Canadian. So I couldn't believe it. I mean, I have an issue. I have another copy of this one, but not this high of grade. And I mean,
nice.
I couldn't believe it. So there's a few others. I wouldn't consider them grails. It was just something that I wanted to show. I thought maybe you might like to see these, Matt. This was a Superboy.
Oh, that's from the Superboy TV series.
I got this.
That's pretty cool.
I got this stuff as well in that lot there for $130.
I found it interesting that they had in 1986 declared that Superman had never been Superboy anymore, so that all the Superboy stories were no longer canon, right?
Right.
And then immediately had a Superboy TV show.
Well, yeah, this one's number 1 from February of 1990.
Yeah.
Right. So.
And the show was in its second season, I think, at that point.
And I thought you might like this one.
Smurfs number 1.
Yeah, I got that too.
La, 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 la. That's amazing. Smurf number 1. That's cool.
Smurf number 3.
Yikes. And I see Jokey's got there on the cover, and then there's some very scary people chasing him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unbelievable. And then there was this Danish book, Danish comic book that came out in 1972. Alan might like this kind of stuff,
Oh yeah. Well, in Europe, the
right?
Disney, especially the ducks, especially
Very,
in Northern Europe,
very
huge,
big.
very big.
And then there was a Flash one.
Celia,
I don't know if this is anything, but I'm not going to throw comic books away. So there was this Flash was in it.
I had that years ago in
Yeah.
my collection. Robbie says it was number 66, so I
Oh,
wasn't
good.
far off.
Yeah, before the
Yeah, no,
reprint.
that one is actually key because it has the last Doctor Fate backup issue in it.
Oh, good. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Backup story. So
Yeah, this is issue 313.
yes, I had that. I had that as a kid.
So there were some other ones in that lot I wasn't I had seen them a long time ago, but it wasn't anything that I was collecting. But I thought maybe because there were oddities that Nate from Hall Yeah would like to see them. And this one here was a Marvel comic from 1990s called Steel Town Rockers.
Yes, I think somebody had shown some of those.
Yeah, when I got that, I'm like, I don't know anything about that. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That you know. And then the other one was called Steel Grip Starkey.
Nice.
I mean, I'd never heard of this stuff. I just,
This is the kind of stuff though that I like because it puts the comic in comic book.
Oh, sure.
There's the ridiculous, the sublime, and the surreal.
You
Those are
have those, eh, Nate? Yeah.
yeah. Yes, there we go. Yes,
Yeah.
I have one of those.
And this oddity was in here. I don't know anything about it, but
Time Spirits.
yeah.
Which one did you have, Big Nasty? He's shown a few.
Yeah, this the Time Spirits is number 1 from 1984. Which one did he say he had?
He hasn't said yet.
Okay. And then there's another
Steel
weird
Grip. He's saying Steel Grip.
Steel Grip, yeah. Then
That's probably who I seen showing it because I know somebody had shown it not too long ago.
Then they had Werewolf Bikers.
That Dog Boy. Okay, now that's going on the list right now. Where Dog Boy? What's the number?
That one is number 1.
Number 1. Werewolf Bikers.
Yeah, number 1. Recommended for mature readers and people with an expanded consciousness. And then Dog Boy, number 9.
Dog Boy number 9. Oh, Nate says Dog Boy is gold. And I would agree with that.
I must have Dog Boy. Yeah.
And then of course the scoffer. Dog Boy's just plain weird. We love you, Andreas. You give us a lot of character.
Yeah. Metaphor.
Never
heard of them before.
I wonder what they're like.
I have no idea. What's the metaphor for?
Exactly.
This one's from First Publishing's 1991.
Yeah, they're the same company that did John Sable. So.
And then there was, I'm sure you've got this one, DC Comic Presents.
I do. I have that whole run. That's a fun one.
That one was in it. Well, this one was in it, but it wasn't bagged. And when I bagged it when I got home, then I'm like, wow, it's still in pretty good shape for not being bagged. And then this was one of the last of the stragglers that was in that first lot was called Pelstar or Pelastar. Don't know anything about it.
It's Eclipse, isn't it?
That is Eclipse, I think so, yeah.
I had a friend that used to buy that one, so I think I flipped through one or two of those.
1987.
Yeah.
So also in the other lot, I'm going to show some more on Friday if I'm invited to do the live stream with Alan, but I'm just going to show a few here. So these 3 were also in another one of the collections I bought, but these were 11 by 14. They're much bigger. And they're from 1971 or 72, but they're the bigger magazines.
Oh yes, and that's based off the comic strip, right?
Yeah, it is. It was. Let's see here. You know, it's drawn fairly big, right? Right. So, I mean, they
Just Robbie. What dog boy's weakness? Steak.
yeah. And also, pardon me. Also, there was in that lot another big one, Flash Gordon
Nice.
from
Now
19.
I'm guessing those are reprints.
Well, they're reprints. Yeah, this one here, they're published by Modern Promotions, and they're dated 1971, 72, and they're in black and white. You know, like,
Very nice.
I mean, I wasn't going to pass it up. I just don't. When I see stuff like that, even if I had 4 or 5 issues of
I'm still a big fan of the daily strip as well. Like things that I see it comic, I read it.
Yeah. And then the other one, I mean, is it's a reprint of Snuffy Smith.
Oh yes, I remember him.
Right.
He's got the little hat, and he's been in comic books almost since day one.
A long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, from probably the 40s and 50s. I mean, this one is dated.
He was in DC. DC Comics had him in New Comics and some of those other ones. More Fun. And all
this
that.
one here, it's from 1972 through King Features Syndicate.
And I think he was also in Famous Funnies.
And Famous Funnies, yep. So, also in the first lot that I bought, the ones that had like 15 long boxes, there was, well, no, this I bought three collections. So this one was from a smaller collection that I bought off an older lady, maybe 6 or 8 blocks from my place, and they had it on the online marketplace. I had never even seen these books before, and they also measure 11 by 14, but they were given out through called the Science Research Associates through Warner Education Services, and they were called Super BB.
Oh, it looks so cool. Who's the okay, I see Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Who are the two
the
people under Wonder Woman?
Under Wonder Woman says Wilson Forbes, and under him is Nora Wong. And supposedly these books were to help children read. I mean, they're, when you read, you get comic books and everything, the words are different. They sound the same, and they're all different. Jargon is different. Yeah. And this is all proper English and whatnot. And I guess it was to help, because on the back, it just, shows you how you draw comic books and whatnot. So
nice. Cam Union wants to know if there's any Spider-Man in those 15 long boxes.
There was an Amazing Spider-Man number 30. That was the only one that was in those boxes that I've come across so far. So that's Super BB, there's that one, and then there was this one.
Nice. And that's obviously Batman and Robin with Supergirl.
Yeah, and these were all done in 1978. And on the back,
how to draw Batman and Robin, eh?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then there was this one.
Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and is that a chimp at the bottom or just
it says Bobo is his name.
Bobo.
Another chimp.
Bobo the chimp, because there weren't enough monkeys in DC in the 50s, let alone.
I thought this was O.J. Simpson, but it's not.
No, thank God.
Right. Anyway, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and Bobo. Yeah, and then the back. I'm
just going to take a moment here. For those that think about like DC and their gorillas, this is this week's last week's Batman Superman World's Finest. Gorilla Grodd is the bad guy. So they're still using monkeys.
And in that, in these that I picked up out of a yard sale the other day, when I saw this one, like I was very unfamiliar with these books. I had never even heard of them, and neither did the lady that was selling them. She had picked them up at a yard sale wherever. But when I saw this one, right away, Matt's name came to mind when I saw the Supergirl one.
Yeah.
So
is that Airwave?
What's that?
With Batman and Robin? Who's the one that's with Batman and Robin on the side?
It says El Dragon.
El Dragon. I don't know who
El
that is.
Dragon, because it looks like it's French. You got like the accent aigu on the top of the O, right?
Oh, if it's El, it's Spanish.
Yeah. El
But
Dragon.
yeah, El Dragon. Oh, wow. But look at that Supergirl. Do you know who the artist is?
They don't list the artist on here. Oh, actually, hang on a sec. Where did I put that? There was inside. It states that it was done through the Joe Kubert Cartoon and Graphics Company.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yes, K Munin. That Supergirl cover is like
And
one of
the back
best
cover to
covers
that
I've ever
one is
seen.
this one.
I wouldn't even attempt to draw Supergirl. I would wreck it.
Well, I'd give it a try.
Hi, Buttface and hi, Chonko.
So these books, it says on the back that they were done through a Science Research Associates Incorporated, and they were available in Chicago, Palo Alto, Toronto, England, Sydney, Australia, Paris, and Stuttgart, Germany.
Stuttgart, West Germany would have been
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yes. Jim, I agree with you. I just couldn't remember exactly when it was. I'm glad that you answered the question.
And then there was, if you want me to show a few more, in that
Of course, we've got plenty of time.
The Simpsons.
Patty and Selma's ill-fated romance comics. Oh my God, no! Why is she with Homer? No.
It's a flip book, right? Because on the other side of it,
Bob's back. That's much cooler. That's much better.
And
my funniest Simpsons story ever had to do at Ottawa Comic Con. I was in a panel for Richard Dean Anderson, and there were two guys sitting next to me. The whole bloody panel, they were doing the Patty and Selma voice, going, MacGyver. We love MacGyver. Like, oh my God. And it was so funny. I have that.
That was in it as well. That lot that I bought.
Nice.
That's
the first appearance of Marge, Lisa, and Maggie.
It's a flip book.
Yep, I have. The collector in the back is cool.
So when I got these, I sent a message to Alan because I know he collects Infinity covers, and then this was an Infinity cover. He told me he had it, so I thought I would ask him if he had it, because if he didn't, I probably would have sent it to him. So
wants to know if that number 1 still has the poster.
Yes, it does. And on the flip side of this one is this.
Busman, it is Otto, and I'm here to make you blotto.
And I'm sure that everybody else out there knows about Tales of G.I. Joe, because that was in it as well.
Nice. I like G.I. Joe books. I don't have enough. The problem is I don't have enough of everything. I want everything.
I don't have everything either.
But I sure want it.
Haywire.
Nice. Yeah. One of those early, that would be about 1988.
1988.
Yeah, where they were, DC was trying to expand upon their post-crisis. Let's create a bunch of new characters to replace all the ones we killed off. Try and get some new stuff.
Married with Children.
Cool. I have been looking for Now comics, like any of them, Married with Children, whatever. No. I cannot find a single one. No peg.
Yeah. No peg. And this one here through Married with Children must have been a Star Wars parody of some kind, because.
Yes.
Right.
Now, who's okay? Well, I know that's Peg. Is that Al Bundy behind as Luke Skywalker?
It is, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sure for Wanker County that's okay, but really not a good thing. And making them a brother and sister on the cover like that. Ugh.
Nate would like this one because that was in the box as well. He likes Star Trek.
Robbie, the problem is I've had too much time on my hands, and I love pop culture.
And then they had Wonder Woman, the Whitman one.
Oh, now anytime you can get a Whitman variant, you
Yeah.
know that they only came in and they were only mostly available in Canada in those bags with that
Yeah.
you could get the
Well,
gold key ones as well.
I think I have one.
Came Unit, you don't want to read Haywire.
They
It
have
actually
the Star Wars stones in the bag that it came with.
Nice.
So yeah, had that one for a long time. So when this one came in that lot that I bought, I'm like, well, that's a nice one from Whitman. You don't see them very often.
No, the biggest Whitman book that actually the people chase is the Marriage of Earth 2, Lois and Superman. That's that one because it's the Whitman variety was actually low printed for that one.
Mm-hmm.
So that one is actually one that people are looking for.
And this other one was a Canadian book. I don't know anything about it, but it came out in 1993.
That's a Whitman?
No, it's not a Whitman. It's
Oh.
printed in Canada, printed and bound in Canada, and it's just called Vision Quest. It's from a company in Edmonton, Alberta called Access Network, which I don't know anything about, but I'm sure is very limited. And I thought maybe somebody could shed something on this book because it was in that lot as well. And it's this one.
Nice. Is that the aardvark there? What's his name? Not Bone. Oh God, Cerebus.
Cerebus, yes. Yeah.
If Chonko's out there, do you have that particular book?
The back cover to that. Yeah,
I know Chonko is a huge Cerebus fan.
Yeah, this was number 3. Says this issue is Marty Lyles and Howard Cruz, Pat Boyette, Mark Whitley, Marv Wolfman, and a new Cerebus vignette by Dave Sim.
Very nice.
Well, that was in that lot. And so this other one I'm going to show, I took a picture of it the other day and I put it on my Instagram site, and a lot of people liked it, but I'd like to show it on your show tonight. So I don't just collect comic books, I collect all kinds of stuff. So what I'm trying to do is complete a set of comics that came out in the 1890s. It came out in 1897 to 1912. And I have 3 or 4 issues of them. They are very, very hard to find. And this one here has been in my collection for, I don't know, 45 years. And it's there was 819 issues in this set, in this called Nick Carter Weekly. This one's
right.
This issue is the famous case of Dr. Quartz. And there was 819 issues in the set. This is number 693, but it's dated April 9th, 1910.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is absolutely beautiful. Like, I just love the lithograph look to it. It's just,
I love it.
It's obviously old printer techniques before they went into the cheap stuff. And that is so,
because when you open the cover up, it's blank on the inside of the front and the back cover, and it's just a story. So and the other one that I have, like, this is number 693, came out in 1897. So there was a set that came out before this, came out in 1891. I'm not sure if I have it here, but I know I have issue volume 1 number 1 from August 8th of 1891. I have the first set of, it was called Nick Carter Detective Library, and those are hard to find as well. They usually sell from $175 US and up, and I've only come across 4 or 5 issues of those, but I was able to many years ago get number 1, and there was like 600 issues on that set because it went from 1891 to 1896. And they're really, really hard to find. But, you know, this hobby is the hunt. And I'm always looking online, or like in my area, you know, somebody might be getting rid of a box of of newspapers, and they still don't know what they have, and maybe I'll find an issue or two. So anyway, that's all I got for you today, Matt.
Oh man, those were great.
Yeah,
Those were fantastic showing. I
thank
mean,
you very much.
it's just knowing what you paid for that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely brilliant. You've won the treasure hunt for the month
Well,
for sure.
the 5,000 book lot, I paid $630 for it. I haven't gotten through all of them. There's a lot. I mean, come on. I'm in my 60s. I'm like, if I was 20 years old, I would rip through it in a couple of days.
Mhm.
But I am not doing it. I go a little bit at a time. You have to log it in, and you have to
Right.
research on this stuff, right? So anyway. I really, really thank you very much for allowing me to show it to everybody in the chat. And
Lyle,
you.
I just absolutely loved it, and I feel honored and privileged that I'm the one that got to have you first
Oh, you're
with
very
this
welcome.
stuff. I appreciate this very much. There's nothing I love more than looking at old books, or
Yeah.
new books too, but books that I've never seen before, books that have a story, books that have value. I mean, every book has a value because somebody liked it at some point
That's
and
right.
somebody created it. I mean, like I tell Kay Munin, that book wasn't the greatest. The one we were talking about earlier here, Haywire.
Yeah.
But you know what, Kay Munin? Don't take my opinion for it. If you want to read it, read it. You may find it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, look
Well,
at this.
yeah,
I love the ferret. You can't stand the ferret. I say everybody has their own taste. So before we wrap up, then we've got a lot more people in the chat now. So I'm going to show, as I call it, the board of members. And that's AG and Son of Crom, who are the members of my channel. Thank you very much. If you'd like to have your name broadcast 6 or 7 times a week, then join up at the membership thing. You'll also get the right to tell me what to do.
Yeah, and thanks a lot, guys, in the chat. I really appreciate it.
So we're gonna wrap things up in a couple minutes. Thanks everybody for coming today. If you're watching on the rerun, thank you very much. This was a great revelation of books by Lyle tonight.
Yeah.
And I look forward to seeing more from this collection as you go through it. And I'm sure that the people in the chat would feel the same way about it. So maybe I'll have you on again in a few more weeks. Then maybe we can show some more stuff from this. And who knows what you're going to pick up between then and then. And now
that's it.
Anyway.
Because we have a Comic-Con. Sorry, Matt. We got a Comic-Con coming up in Kelowna on the 3rd of May. So there's some things I want to look for. And if you're looking for anything, let me know, and I'll keep an eye open when I go.
Certainly.
Super.
There's actually a couple things. I'm actually sitting here starting to make a list for my own cons because my con season starts at the end of May. I've got 3 shows I'm going to, one in May, one in July, one in September. So I'm starting to make a list of what to look for at that point. That way I know what to budget for. So
yeah, for sure.
Thanks a lot, Lyle. I appreciate it, everybody. And as Christina put in earlier, Lyle has an Instagram account. So if you want to check him out on Instagram, I believe the link was put in the in the stream. So just take a quick look at that. And I want to say thanks to everybody for showing up. My name's Matt. I like comics, and I hope you do too. Good night, everybody.